Is this the best ever Star Wars toy? I mean, it's not actually a Star Wars toy. Let's be honest, the lightsaber is probably the coolest weapon in movie history. I'm sure if you asked everyone if they wanted a real lightsaber, if such a thing could exist, I think everyone would say yes. It's just that awesome. And lightsaber toys have existed since 1978. The first one was an inflatable blade on the end of a flashlight, and then you had these plastic tubes that were hollow, and as you swung it round, the air would go through making noises. So lightsaber toys have existed for a long time. Now, I was born in 1983 when Return of the Jedi came out, and I got into Star Wars really when no one was getting into Star Wars. I was buying like old Kenner figures at the market, and this was obviously after Return of the Jedi, but before the special editions and then the prequels and so on. And then I grew up buying the Micro Machines. I loved the Micro Machines range, and then the Power of the Force 2 stuff. Great memories of all of that. And then, of course, they made their first new lightsaber, which was a blade, a handle that had a bit of the blade sticking out like this. And you flicked it, and the blade would extend, and you could fight with it, and so on. Even back then, it actually annoyed me that a bit of the blade stuck out, but that got better pretty quick. And by the time the Phantom Menace come out, you could get lightsabers where the whole blade went into the handle. I do remember having a Phantom Menace Obi-Wan lightsaber that did that, and I always liked that handle, funnily enough. But the dream was always to have one where you could press the button, it'd go up, press the button again, it would come down. The closest Hasbro got to this was a more recent edition where it was spring-loaded, so it shot up, but to get it in, you still had to push it in. And sometimes that took quite a bit of effort. I remember with some of the ones I had in the day, you really had to bang them on the floor. Now, this is a new product by a company called Goliath. It's called the Power Saber, and it is not an official Star Wars product. And I got told about this. RRP on this in the UK is £60, and I was never actually going to buy it. I just remember hearing about it and thinking, oh, that sounds cool. Definitely the sort of thing I would have loved as a kid, because, like I said, the dream was to have one where you press the button up, button goes down, you can still fight with it. But it come up on Amazon recently for £22, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a go for that. And I must say, really impressed with it. The packaging, it looks really nice in the packaging, the way it's displayed. It even comes with a display stand that you can stand it on. And I guess the only downside to the packaging, obviously, is not being a Star Wars product. It has no Star Wars branding, which doesn't mean it's a bad product at all. I just think that sort of thing, obviously, is going to cost its sales. My brain has been conditioned to basically, I don't know how to put this. Over the years, I've seen lots of laser swords and power swords and all these sort of cheap things for sale in places like Pound Stretcher right from a kid. They've all been pretty rubbish. So I think my brain is conditioned to, you know, you see a lightsaber that's not a lightsaber and you think, oh, that's going to be rubbish. And I wonder if other people have that sort of thing. Let me know if you do. And would see it in a shop and think, it's not Star Wars, it's going to be rubbish. You know, without really giving it a chance. But this does everything I would have wanted it to. It looks like a lightsaber. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like Luke's lightsaber or Vader's or lightsaber, but it looks like a lightsaber. Certainly, if they made a lightsaber in the Star Wars universe that looked exactly like this, you wouldn't think, oh, that looks weird. It looks like a lightsaber. I guess if we're going to nitpick, you could argue they could have done some paint apps, had some black in there, but that's something I'll probably do later on. I think we have to remember that we are looking at a toy here, not an adult collectible like the Force FX lightsabers here, which are amazing, but we're talking about an actual toy. And, you know, and things like this, like, obviously, this one has a removable blade. Not all the Force FX ones did, but even to remove it, you had to, you know, unscrew it and you know, and faff getting it on and off. And I know there's loads of different companies out there that now do lightsabers, and you know, have the same sort of thing, dueling lightsabers. But if you do want to take the blade off, you know, you can't just do it at the press of a button. Turn it on, goes up. Now, when you hit it, I don't know if you can see on the camera, it does do a little bit of a flash. It's quite a subtle flash, but it does flash. So I don't know if it'll show up on camera. And it feels really sturdy. It feels like you can really go at it. And it still works. And yeah, I don't really know what more I can say about it. I think it's such a great product, and I wish I was a kid again, because absolutely this is what I would have loved as a kid. It even has a little belt clip on, so you can hang it on your belt. I could just sit here all day doing that. And the way it works, so there's like a, again, I don't think that's going to show on camera, to be honest, because of the lights and all that, but there looks like a drill bit in there, like a spiral bit, and as you press the button, it spins, and so you've got these bits here. So obviously, helps pull them in and push them out. Yeah, really genius thing. Now, as far as I understand from some research I've done, this was actually supposed to be a Star Wars product. Originally, the inventor had sold the patent to Hasbro a few years back, and I guess they worked on it and then gave him the patent back, which blows my mind. How can, if you had the Star Wars license and someone had bought you this, how could you give it back? Like, yeah, it just blows my mind. I don't think there's ever been a reason publicly made. Some people have speculated some sort of safety thing, but, you know, I would have thought if it was a safety issue, you know, that Goliath would have had the same issue. So I don't see why. I mean, I wonder if in the years that Hasbro were developing or working with this, if they came across a better solution, perhaps, that they'll release further down the line. So they thought, oh, we might as well, you know, not bother with this version, perhaps. We know that, I don't know if, I guess Disney, or whatever company they outsource it to, have done retracting lightsabers that do look like the proper ones that get used in the parks, which I know you can't fight with those ones. I remember there was a video online of Rey, and, you know, extends, and then, you know, the ship grumbles and she goes forward, hand goes behind a barrier where she obviously picks up the one that she can then fight Kylo Ren with. But it was very well choreographed. And I don't think those are I don't think Hasbro would release that one, because, like I say, from the pattern, it looks like a couple of tape measure things that go up, and I think, you know, if someone whacks it, it's just going to break the thing. But yeah, it just blows my mind that this is not a Star Wars toy. It really does. Especially when it so could have been. But to me, genuinely, probably the best Star Wars toy ever made, and it's not a Star Wars toy. Now, you may disagree with me, and that is fine. But let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, not in the video. I'm in the video, you're in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. My channel is mostly Ghostbusters. I do the odd Star Wars bit. Like I said, I've been a Star Wars fan all my life. I was actually a supporting artist in Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, that one everyone absolutely loved. I was a First Order technician and a First Order gunner. Which, you know, at the time we didn't know what the film was going to be like, but I was excited to do it at the time. So, yeah, but if you're a Ghostbusters fan, please subscribe, check out my other stuff. If you're a Star Wars fan, feel free to subscribe, but it's not often I do Star Wars content. But anyway, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.
Want to give a big shout out to the Magic Ghostbuster. Hey Darren, very, very impressive.